Welcome back to my channel, Taste of Flavor. Today we're gonna make some chicken tenders, and we're gonna make chicken tenders two ways. We're gonna fry some, and then we're gonna make some in our air fryer, and then we're gonna make a buffalo sauce and also a spicy barbecue sauce. To get started, I have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I'm trimming the fat off of. And then after that, I'm going to cut them in sections around 1/2 inch thick to get them ready for chicken tenders. So we just cut them in strips. Now, sometimes you'll have chicken breast that's a little thick. What you can do is just cut them right in half down the middle. It'll thin them out, and they will cook more even. And as you notice, I'm gonna continue to trim the fat off of everything because we do not want to taste any fat on our chicken breast. Now that we have them cut into our strips, we're gonna take the water off of and all the moisture with paper towels. Chicken holds a lot of moisture, so you'll have to take paper towels and you'll have to get all the moisture out of there. The more moisture you get off the chicken, is the more your seasoning is gonna stick to it. So my seasonings I'll be using today is going to be seasoning salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and adobo seasoning. Adobo seasoning is going to give like a earthy taste. It's a very good spice to use. I'm going to flip the chicken around and season both sides. Next, we have around 2 cups of flour, and you also want to season the flour. That way the chicken, it will be seasoned on all levels. toss your flour to combine the seasonings well. And then you can toss your chicken tenders in the flour and mix it. And mix your chicken thoroughly and make sure you're coated evenly on all sides of your chicken tender. Now, once you do that, we can shake the excess flour off of there. And then we'll put into a pan of oil we have heated already. And I use 2 cups of canola oil. And again, you can use canola or vegetable oil or even peanut oil. We will fry the chicken tenders around 3 minutes per side. And remember, if you have a thermometer, check it and make sure the internal temperature reaches 160 degrees. And the reason why you want 160 degrees is that's when the chicken is done. But if you go further than that, then you've overcooked the chicken. And chicken gets really dry when you overcook it, especially a white meat like chicken breast. So we'll definitely make sure that we have it cooked at the right temperature for the best taste and for your safety. We're going to also put some chicken in the air fryer. And instead of flour on this chicken, I have it seasoned, and I'm going to use some breadcrumbs. And I'm going to use some breadcrumbs, and I'm going to toss it around in the breadcrumbs just like we would the flour. Now, after we toss them around, we'll put them on the tray. We're going to put some olive oil on the chicken, and that's just so we can get coated on the chicken and we can actually get it to fry it. And that's just going to make it crispier for us once we take it out of our air fryer. Now, this air fryer, the chicken will be done in 14 minutes. So fry for 7 minutes, and then turn the chicken over, and then do another 7 minutes, and it'll be done. Now, while we have our chicken cooking, we're going to make 2 different sauces. The first sauce we're going to make is our buffalo sauce. And all we use is Frank's hot sauce, or you can use whatever hot sauce you like of your choice. And then we take melted butter, around half a cup, pour it in there, and we just mix it. And we'll set it to the side. Now, in a separate bowl, we're going to mix our spicy barbecue sauce. And again, use your favorite barbecue sauce of your choice. And we'll take our barbecue sauce and we'll put around a teaspoon of honey, because we like spicy sweet. And then to that we will add some red pepper chili flakes. And put how much you want accordingly. I like some heat to my sauces. So if you don't like it as hot, you can add a little bit less and just mix it. And then you can either also pop it on the microwave. Pop it in the microwave just so you don't put it on the chicken cold. And it's going to thin it out, and it's going to coat your chicken better. So now we can see our chicken tenders in the air fryer is done. And let's look at how juicy this chicken turned out. It was extremely juicy. And then we're going to brush that with the spicy barbecue sauce. And as you can see, the chicken cut with a fork. That's how juicy it turned out. And you can see how good the batter and how crispy it looks on there. And that's with breadcrumbs. So that's a healthier alternative to fried chicken. So we'll brush it with our spicy barbecue sauce. And then you can enjoy that, and it actually cooks faster and it's less of a mess as well. So now here's our fried chicken tenders. And we're going to toss these in our buffalo sauce. And you can do it by hand, and normally I do, but I didn't feel like getting real messy today with the sauce in my hand, so I'm using just a fork and a medium-sized bowl and just tossing the chicken in there and putting it back on the pan. Okay, so after this, we will take another batch of our chicken and we'll toss it in our spicy barbecue sauce. And it's the same concept. You can use a fork, you can use your hands, however you want to do it. It's up to you. And so we're just doing everything in batches. I had several batches I made of this for a good sized meal. So now that we're still cooking our other batches of chicken, we're going to start on our broccoli and cheese casserole. The first thing I'm doing is I have a saucepan and we're making our roux. Remember, a roux is going to be equal parts fat and equal parts flour. So we're using 3 tablespoons of butter, chopped onion, and 2 to 3 spoons of flour. And so I'm adding the flour, and the flour actually has seasoning in it as well. And we're making our roux. We're just going to constantly stir it. And all seasoning and ingredients I use will be in the description. So when we do this, we want to do this over medium heat. And we want to constantly whisk it. Now next, we're going to add our cheese to it as well as our milk. So I reduce my heat because we don't want nothing to burn. And I'm going to add cream cheese. There was 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And I do apologize because I should have added the milk first. I did realize that when I was cooking, because you don't want anything to be lumpy. So definitely add your milk next, then your cheese. So we have 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And then we also have shredded cheese. The shredded cheese I use is medium cheddar, and then I use a Monterey Jack. Again, you can use sharp cheddar, mild cheddar, pepper jack, Gruyere. It's very endless with the amount of different cheeses you can use in broccoli cheese casserole. But I find the best taste is to use the Monterey Jack and the medium cheddar, as well as the cream cheese adds a different level of creaminess. And so now that we've added the milk, I added around 1 to 1.5 cups of milk. You can add 2 cups of milk if you want your sauce to be a little thicker, but I would not add any more than 2 cups just because it's gonna be a little too thin and you want it to thicken up as it cooks. And so now I'm gonna add paprika, salt, black pepper, onion powder, as well as garlic powder. And so we're adding this and we're going to let it simmer on medium. So we turn our fire back up to medium and we're going to continue to whisk. And the salt, it's not very much salt. You're adding around 1/4 teaspoon of salt, just because your cheese already has a lot of salt in it. So you don't need as much table salt. And so now I'm gonna add my cooked rice that I cooked earlier, and I steamed the rice, and use around 1.5 cups of rice. If you're gonna cook for a bit larger family or gathering, you're gonna use 2 to 3 cups. You can adjust accordingly. And then we're gonna use around a pound of broccoli. And when you do your broccoli, you want your broccoli to be steamed already. You can steam it in the microwave, or you can do it on top of the stove for at least 3 or 4 minutes, because you want it to be slightly soft. And you can actually use frozen broccoli as well. But of course, if you use frozen broccoli, most of the time they sell those in microwavable bags, so go ahead and microwave it first. Now we'll pour our cheese sauce over our broccoli and rice. You can stir it, but you do not have to stir it, because when you start cooking it in the oven, it's actually going to filter down to your rice, and everything is going to kind of mix itself. And so now we're going to add the rest of our sliced cheese that we shredded. And again, that was the medium cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. Now we're going to add a crunchy element to this, and that is a roll of Ritz crackers. That's going to add a buttery crunch, and it's just going to send it over the top. So what we're doing is we're crushing it. Crush it with your hands in the package and just spread it all over your cheese. And we'll spread it on there evenly. And use your hands and just spread it over there. And now when we're done with this, we're gonna have a preheated oven at 350 degrees. And to the oven it's gonna go, and we're gonna bake it for 30 minutes. So now you see that it is done. You see how nice that topping came out. All it is golden. And you see the cheese just looks awesome. So we had that rich buttery crust on there, served along with our chicken. Remember to check out my other videos. And we'll see you on the next video. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment.